Hey guys, welcome back. Now it's been a while since my last drawing video, and instead of going out today, because the weather is pretty terrible, I thought I would stay at home and draw some architecture from one of my favorite games, which is Runescape. I've been playing this game since I was 8, and I think that playing games like this is really great because it teaches you as a young kid how to read floor plans and look at buildings from different architectural time periods. So I'm going to start off by looking at the Lumbridge Church, and this church is notable in the game because of a quest where you get an amulet of Ghosts Speak. So looking at this church, what I think is really interesting is you can clearly see the inspiration from local churches in England, like this tiny little chapel in Fordon in Yorkshire, which is one of the smallest churches in England. But what I think is really unique about the in-game architecture is the roof style, which is actually a gambrel style roof, which is very similar to barn houses. And the Lumbridge area is a farming area, so I wonder if that was intentional. Now we can see that when they updated the game, the church architecture style has also been updated and the roof shape has been completely changed to a normal gable style roof. But I just think that that's a really nice, cool detail. So I'm starting off with drawing the facade. I've already drawn most of it because when I was filming, my head got into the shot so much that you couldn't even see the drawing. So we're gonna just fast forward ahead to this stage. And I'm starting to draw the stone facade element here. So before I continue drawing, there's a couple of keywords to know when you're drawing a facade. The first is that I have a bunch of construction lines. These are really, really light lines that help guide the drawing and the measurements of the drawing so that everything is nice and proportional. The second is that this is the terrain level, so we're only drawing what is shown above the terrain. And this is very typical in a facade drawing. The third thing that we're showing are line weights. So the closer an object is to us, the darker it is. And the further away it is, the lighter it is. And to do so, I'm using some Statler pencils to get these nice line gradients. You can see that as I'm drawing, I'm slightly moving my ruler along, trying to keep it level. And of course, I have my guidelines already helping me show this grid. One of the things to be really careful about when you're doing these sorts of drawings is to be aware of smudges. They can really ruin a drawing. So you want to keep your hands as clean as possible and avoid dragging your hand across the drawing. So now that we have all the lines now added, I'm going to add some watercolor. Now, typically I don't always color in my facade drawings, especially for school. But this is a home project, so I can do whatever I want. I'm starting off by adding a lot of water to the page so that I can stipple in some red watercolor for the roof. And this is a sort of wet on wet effect that allows the color to blend and bleed into the page. The next thing I'm doing for the stonework is to add a light layer of watercolor. And this is going to be my base, and I mix lots of blues and browns, and then I go in over top and start to layer in color on individual stones. And this is probably the most time-consuming part, but also the most fun part. Adding just lots of little layers of color and keeping at it, and you're kind of going by intuition a little bit. I usually add different colors or different undertones like blues or purples or, again, browns, so that it's not just a flat gray. And then this is the final result of all those little tiny happy layers of color. And this is the final digital shot. I tried to clean it up. It got a little washed out. Anyway, I would love to know your thoughts and if you would like to see more hand drafting in this style or hear more about the architecture in Runescape, just let me know in the comments below.